Okay, we're going to look at simple and compound interest, and we're going to start off with taking a look at what simple interest is. Now, say you invest 5,000 Rand at simple interest. Well, what it does, simple interest works this way. You start off with 5,000, and after 1 year, you take 5,000 and you multiply it by 3.75%. I think it's really nice to just move that decimal. I don't use percentages, use decimals. It makes it a lot easier. Divide by 100, and you get 0.0375. Now, there's your first amount of interest you make in the first year of simple interest. And the way simple interest works, the next year, you make exactly the same amount, which is 3.75% of 5,000. And you just keep adding it. You add it for 3 years, and that's how you get your total. Well, that's a lot of figuring. And there's an easy way I'm going to show you how to do this. That's simple interest. But compound interest is special because it doesn't, the first year is exactly the same. You add that 3.7%. But now, after 1 year, you've got a new amount, and it's 187 Rand more than it was at the beginning of the year. Well, now the difference with compound interest is you don't stay with that 5,000 every year. You now multiply the new bigger amount by 0.0375. And you get a bigger amount than 187, you get 194. And then you do the same thing, you add it, and you get a new amount that you multiply by 3.7%. This is a lot of figuring, but that's how compound interest works. Like for 3 years, hey, you get a bit more. Look, simple compound interest is 583 Rand worth of interest you got after 3 years. This is 562. By compounding, you got an extra 23 Rand. Well, if you invest like over 20 years, that turns into a huge amount because compound interest is an exponential formula. Now, let's just take a look at the two formulas. If we did simple interest, it's just I times N. Well, this is what you do. You take your money and you go 1 plus I times the number of years, and you just put that into your formula, and you get the exact same answer. You can type that into your calculator. P stands for the money you invest, A stands for the amount you finish with, I stands for the interest rate, which is just take the interest rate and divide by 100, and N stands for how many years. Just put it in your calculator. That's how much money you'll end up with. The interest you just subtract from the money you started with, and that's how much interest you made in those 3 years. Your interest per year is 187.50. But look how compound interest works. Instead of going I times N, you go 1 plus I and you put it to the nth power. And that's how you put it in your calculator. So you go 5,000 times 1 plus the interest, 0.0375. That's 3.75% divided by 100. And put it to the third power. Oh, look, you get a you get your answer all in one step, and your calculator does all the work. The interest you receive as you subtract the 5,000, you made 583, a little bit more interest than you made with simple interest. And the longer the years get, the more money you make. Okay, that's our introduction to simple and compound interest. There you go.